وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد. يا من صليت بكل الأنبياء، يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس، يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد. أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا محمد، يا من حليت حياتنا بالإيمان، يا من بجمالك علمت الإحسان، يا من نورت قلوبنا بالقرآن، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد. يا من صليت بكل الأنبياء، يا من في قلبك رحمة للناس، يا من ألفت قلوبا بالإسلام، يا حبيبي يا شافعي يا رسول الله، بأمي وأبي فديتك سيدي، صلاة وسلام عليك يا نبي حبيبي يا محمد. أتيت بالسلام والهدى محمد حبيبي يا محمد، يا رحمة للعالمين يا
السلام عليكم.
محمد، يا من حليت.
Salam, Muaz. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you very much. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all. We're going to start now with Al-Fatiha first. Alhamdulillah, this is going to be our second series for this new program by our unit of IOHK Kulliyyah of Medicine, which is How is Your Tarannum? So for those that recently joined our session, so basically this is a sequelae or continuity of our previous program last year on how is your tajweed. So this time we're going to concentrate more on the Tarannum. And objective of this program is basically to increase our awareness about Tarannum and to increase our motivation and also our interest to study more about Tarannum. And this session actually cannot replace the needs for one-to-one teaching session with our Ustad and Ustazah. This is just a platform for us to be exposed towards Tarannum that is available and what are the techniques that we can choose and what are the things that we can learn from this session. Inshallah, yeah, Brother Muaz. So I think last week we have discussed on the introduction part, whereby we've already discussed about the preparation, what are the benefits, what are the hukum of recitation of Tarannum accordingly. And we believe that the most important thing is that before we prepare or before we start on recitation of Quran according to Tarannum, we need to increase our knowledge and be expert in terms of the tajweed first, right? So I think everyone agree on that basic fundamental before we recite Al-Quran. And with that, today we're going to discuss more on the misconception of the Tarannum itself. So I pass the session to Brother Muaz. Brother Muaz.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد الحمد لله all the grace all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and my beloved lecturer Dr. Shaiful Ehsan and all the participants from IUM Kulliyyah of Medicine and other IUM content staff or other and all participants inshallah. So to summarize what we have learned in last session is about to learn Tarannum is a sunnah, and then because Rasulullah said in a hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, ليس منا من لم يتغنى بالقرآن. It is not among us who doesn't read Quran with a good melody. Some of the scholars interpret that as a tajweed part. We have to recite Quran with tajweed, with a good tajweed, as asked by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala in Surah Al-Muzammil, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Some of the scholars said it is meant to be tarannum, which is a good melody. And then we explore about what are the tarannum melodies, such as Bayati, Ras, Jaharka, and then Nahawan, Saba, Hijaz, Sikah. This is the seven famous melodies, because if there is some melodies in the Quran, such as Ajam, and so on. Because what we will be learning in this course, this program throughout the year, is the school of thought from the Egypt, because Tarannum is have many school of thoughts like Hijaz, Misri. Misri is Egypt lah. So the seven melodies are very famous in our society. So I choose these melodies because it dekat dengan kita, and then we can grab with more cepat lah. So and then as I presented last session, we have 3 speakers. Tapi satu lagi kamu speaker tak ada dalam dalam poster ni lah, which is Alif Irfan, also from Kulliyyah of Medicine.
Inshallah, we're going to update the poster, inshallah.
So this session, I would like to share with you what are the common misconception about the Tarannum, and then the basic knowledge before you enter the real Tarannum class or the real Tarannum sessions. Because in throughout this session, I would like to introduce you one-to-one mentoring session with all the speakers. Because we invited, as agreed by Dr. Shaiful, we invited a good knowledgeable speaker, which is a competitor in Quranic tilawah in Negeri Pulau Pinang. So his expertise will be kita gunakan, utilized by us, insyaAllah. He will correct us, he will teach us very detailed, and insyaAllah all the knowledge that you will get from this session is very beneficial, and insyaAllah can be applied and also can be utilized in your salah, in your recitation. So let's me present my slide.
All right. I think before that, since there are probably new participants, would like to just give an overview is that for the first 3 sessions, starting last week until another third session, is going to be a discussion, right, Brother Muaz, regarding Tarannum, an introduction part, the objectives, the misconception, the preparation. And inshallah, the practical session 1 will be starting on the 4th session onwards, whereby our Tarannum sharer will going to describe and explain regarding the chosen Tarannum, the chosen melody for us to recite and practice, inshallah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Inshallah, I will be sharing my slides. Bismillah. Okay, sorry. Can I present it too?
Yes, Muaz, you can present now. Thank you.
Okay. So, for your information, Tarannum is used by our scholars or is imam, such as in the Mecca and Medina, and very famous reciters of the Quran, such as Sa Al-Ghamidi, Mahir Muqli, Mishari. You can name whatever you all the famous reciters of the Quran, and then uh, they are using this Tarannum. So it's very important and it's very crucial. If you want to appreciate these melodies, you have to learn. You have to learn it because throughout the history of Islam, one of the mu'jizah, one of the orang kata apa, keunikan ataupun mu'jizat Al-Quran, the miracle of the Quran. For your information, is throughout the recitation of the Quran. Because this Quran, when it is recited, it instill the what we call perasaan sedih itu. As Rasulullah said in the Quran in a hadith, bacalah Quran dengan sedih, dengan nangis. Ya, recite the Quran with tune yang sedih, apa? Melodi yang sedih. Kalau kamu tak mampu, so if you cannot, you have to pura-pura sedih. Because we know the history of Quran, the revelation of the Quran, 23 years of revelation. It's full of memories, it's full of hardship, it's full of something that very unbearable for us. So throughout this recitation of the Quran, pembinaan Quran daripada para sahabat sampai to us, bunyi suara Al-Quran itu sendiri adalah mukjizat. Maka dengan we learn Tarannum, we know it is one of the beautiful aspect of the Quran, which is Tarannum. So one of the common misconception, before I go to Tarannum misconception, I would like to introduce you what are the course outline for these programs. So all the participants will be kan diberi manfaat to learn 4 famous melodies, which is Bayati, the basic one, and also Ros, and Hawan and Jiharka. I have done a meeting with the speakers, and they said they suggest to change from Soba to Ros because Soba is much more difficult compared to Ros, and Ros has common and famous reciters of the Quran, such as Ros Imam Sudais. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. So you know Sudais, Imam Abdul Rahman As-Sudais, on the famous Masjid Al-Haram Imam. He recite Quran with Ros melody. And then Nahawan and Jiharkah is very close to us in our Nusantara society, such as the Takbiraya. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This is the 4 famous melodies that we'll be learning. So every melody consists of theory and practical sessions. So because we will be learning these 4 melodies, so we will be equipped with the theoretical part. What are the theme that close to the melodies? Bebayati, for example, is for the beginning. Is for the something that close, nak tutup lagu, nak tutup ayat Al-Quran, nak tutup, to close the recitation. I think most of the reciters of the Quran will close the recitation with the Bayati. And then practical session. This is the unique of this program, because to learn hadirin hadirat sekalian, to learn the Tarannum is very crucial. It's very important that you recite the Quran and the speakers or the ustad correct you immediately. Because to get used with the melodies, which is apa yang kena naik, apa yang kena turun, apa yang nak kena change a little bit. So this is the unit of this program, because we have very knowledgeable speaker, expert and expert in Tarannum. So we will give you the opportunity to have one-to-one mentoring style for particular session. So because they will teach you, because kata apa, peluang adanya online session kita dapat berjumpa walaupun
This is
kita
actually a very important opportunity, right? Right,
yes.
Muaz?
Yes, because alhamdulillah, the speakers have agreed to share their knowledge with us, so don't miss this opportunity lah, insyaAllah. So, and then the fourth point is surah that will be practiced. We discussed and we choose Al-Fatihah and selected short chapters.
Any other surah that you feel that is suitable, Brother Muaz?
I think the first one will be Surah Fatihah lah. And then together we'll be learning how to recite Fatihah in different melodies. We can use it in in Surah Jahar, in bacaan Quran. So because and then we can practice it and we can use it. Inshallah, our recitation will be more happier and kata apa, dengan lebih enak didengar, and then will be more happier lah. I think because my perception before I learn Tarannum, I think some of the reciters are very monotonous. But after learning Tarannum, for your information lah, dia punya lagu, kelaguan aspek tu menyebabkan kita jadi lebih tenang, lebih relax. That's the beauty of
Even can
Tarannum.
increase our focus in solah. Is that true?
Yes, true, Doctor. So
sorry to interrupt you. So I realized that basically last time we agree on the previous another one Tarannum, because the fourth mentioned Tarannum is the one that is more common in our region. But
yes.
Just now you introduced another one which is Rast. But I believe that when you recite Rast just now, Tarannum, is quite simple and quite short. I mean, like sound quite familiar. I feel like that's more sound like quite familiar that I've heard before, even in Jama'ah, Salat Jama'ah, and so on. Feel like it's quite comfortable to be recite.
Yeah. Because one of our concern is we have short session, 30 minutes, and we want all of us, all the participants from all the staff members, all the students who join this session to grab these opportunities and to master it in a short session in the fast manner. So I think the four melodies will very banyak lah to be, kita boleh tukar, change it, and selected short chapters such as Surah Al-Kafirun, Surah Al-Kawthar, Surah. But the important one, to grab the concept first. What is the tone? And then
sorry, we're going to start on the misconception, but I think I've got one misconception before, which that until now I just realized that is a little bit misconception for me. You mentioned that most of the reciter would end their recitation with bayati, meaning that we actually can mix the Tarannum in one surah. Is that right?
Yes, true, Doctor.
Okay, all right. Because I thought that we need to be consistent with one Tarannum when we recite any surah. It's not like that, right?
No, like that. No, because the thematic aspect of the every melody can be used and can be reconciled with the meaning of the verses, such as if the verse is about the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we use nahawan, because nahawan is dia punya melodi tu lagi lembut.
Nahawan.
So where we will go every for melodies, and we learn how to use it, how to know it, how to apply it according to verse, inshallah. So let's go. So this is this 4 points highlight that it is very a big opportunity. I think the golden opportunity to us. As for me, because I am not an expert too. However, I believe that this melodies can is very beneficial for all of us in terms of we want to increase our knowledge in Tarannum, and also increase our knowledge, increase our recitation in terms of melodies and in terms of lagu tu lah. So I list some of common misconception. So hadirin hadirat yang dirahmati Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So one of I got this misconception from a friend. He said to me, "Why you want to introduce Tarannum to the non-Quranic society? Because why? I'm sorry for this term lah. Kita sometimes we are very familiar with tajwid punya program, to learn tajwid, to learn how to dengar dan sebagainya. Tapi Tarannum ni macam yang a bit ketinggalan, and kita pun tak fokus because sometimes they said it is very difficult to learn. As I said before, Tarannum has two aspect, two type of kelajuan tu dia ada 2 jenis, murattal dan mujawad. That's one yang difficult to learn is mujawad aspect. To in mujawad, as explained last session, you recite Quran with a very slow pace. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. That's mujawad punya kelajuan. Tapi yang kita akan belajar ni adalah murattal. Kelajuan ni murattal. Murattal is much more faster. Like you listen to imams and famous reciters of the Quran. Ghamidi, there is a Quran with murattal punya version punya Tarannum. So it's not very difficult to learn. When you grab the concept, you grab the melody, you can apply in different verses, in different surah, in different ayah, in different context. Even if you want to practice it in lagu biasa, lagu-lagu ke tulisan bahasa Melayu ke, you can practice it. Because that, for example, I take one example. Dia lagu Nahawan. The melody is like this. Aba abata, aba abata, aba abata, aba. That's the melody. Aba abata. You grab this tone, the melodies, insyaAllah dia akan lekat dalam kepala, and then you can use it, insyaAllah. Not very difficult to them. And then we invited knowledgeable speakers for you to learn. Inshallah, you can grab this opportunity lah, inshallah. Second, it must use high notes. You can see in the television program Majlis Tilawah dan Hafazan Kebangsaan, they are closing their ears to recite these very high notes. As I said, you must know that in Tarannum we have 3 stages of tone. The first one is qarar, the lowest tone. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Yang tengah-tengah, the middle one is nawa. Qarar, nawa. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Nawa is the common tone that we will use every day, and that we use every day. And then the much more higher is jawab. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. That's higher. So in the murattal version, usually we will use nawa tone, nawa stage of a tone. So it's not compulsory to us to use jawab. And also, you can use jawab too, but the more important, the usual or tone yang selalu digunakan adalah nawa lah. Kita akan guna nawa saja. Kita tak akan taik tinggi ataupun kita tak akan ke bawah pun. So not all Tarannum melodies use high notes, but there are some melodies that associated with high notes, such as Sika, such as Soba. So if you interested to learn, you can, inshallah, we will be arranging another session, inshallah. And then the third, you must have good voice in order to master it. So this is common misconception. I have this misconception when I was 13 years old. I entered one of the Tarannum's class, and most of students said, if in order to you to master Tarannum, you must have a good voice. Suara sedap orang kata. But the first introduction by our ustaz is, kita nak belajar Tarannum ni, tak sebenarnya kita ada kena suara sedap. But tapi yang the most
Suara
important,
sedap ni subjektif. Subjektif Muaz.
because the first one is subjective, and the
Yeah.
second one, the first thing to be bacaan, to be good in recitation of Quran is have tajwid.
Yeah.
If you have a good tajwid in recitation, ultimately your recitation will be good first. And the second one, in order to master the Tarannum, we have to master the melodies. Not to have good voice. You master the melodies, you apply it correctly, and then you know how to naik, mana to turun, mana untuk berbunga sikit. Then your recitation will be good, insyaAllah. Because it is the manipulation of the voices. You know, we have qarar, we have nawa, we have jawab. If you can manipulate it very carefully, perfectly, insyaAllah, your Tarannum or recitation of Quran will be good. Tapi kita tak nafikan. We also doesn't deny that don't deny that some Allah bagi kelebihan untuk setengah orang untuk ada suara yang baik. Unfortunately, some of the good reciters of the Quran cannot master. Sometimes someone that have good voice doesn't master the Tarannum session and baca Quran dengan buruk sekali, dengan tajuknya, dengan apa yang tidak ada. So I am giving you the opportunity that your misconception is wrong, as I have before. So inshallah, we'll be master it together. And the fourth one, let's I present to last session, is haram to recite Quran with Tarannum melody. So this is common misconception lah in the golongan-golongan yang ustaz-ustaz yang ngajar tajwid lah. Wait a minute, bateri nak habis. Sekejap, saya charge je.
So for our participants, either in this Zoom meeting or even in the Facebook Live, we're going to record the session. So we can rewatch this session later on through our official FB as well as our official YouTube of IOHK Kulliyyah of Medicine. And if you realize it's more of like introduction and discussion part for the first 3 episodes, so that when we going to the 4th episode onwards, it's going to be part 1. So this one is more of discussion and introduction part, right? So Brother Muaz, you mentioned just now that when we recite according to Tarannum, each Tarannum would actually have a phase of deep voice, and after that a little bit of murattal, which is quite faster and faster or even higher tone. But I wonder if in a short surah, very short surah, the number of verses or the sentences is less than 4 or 5, how we can play with that different tone? So is it mean that we still can make it harmonize or harmonize with different level of speed of the melody, or we can just choose one?
If you want to recite it in mujawad pace, which is slow, sometimes the reciter, some reciters love to repeat in different tone.
I see.
In different melodies. So the first melody will be Quran. Qul huwallahu ahad. And then the repeat will higher tone and another melody. So it can be used lah. And then if you want to say murattal, usually we use nawa punya tone. So this is no problem with qarar jawab lah. So nawatun usually one tone, but with melody, insyaAllah we can harmonize lah. So at the first point, it is haram to recite Quran with Tarannum melody. I think this misconception is partly true, because
But
if you
Interesting.
manage to observe some of the imams in our society, some of the Hafiz Quran, they love to recite Quran with lagu lah, dengan lantunannya, dengan apanya. But if you want
Yep.
to kata apa, examine their recitation, if you have good knowledge in tajwid, you will you can detect some of the kesalahan yang dia berlakukan dalam bacaan Tarannum. Sebab Tarannum ni dia dia ada regulation dia. The first regulation that everyone must understand is you have to follow tajwid. You cannot panjang lebih daripada 5 harakat. Sometimes dia prolong panjang dia punya mak jaiz sampai pada 7 8. And sometimes mereka dengung lebih pada 3 harakat. That is very critical point that some of our scholars keluarkan fatwa it is prohibited to learn Tarannum. In the Egypt, for example, there is a continuous argument or kata apa, pemandangan yang khilaf yang panjang tentang it is permissible to learn Tarannum. Some of the scholars rejected because some of the reciters of the Quran doesn't learn tajwid before learn Tarannum. So it's very important lah to know that Tarannum is a completion of the your knowledge in the Quran. Before that, you have to get your basic first in tajwid, and Tarannum combined with tajwid is a perfect recitation of the Quran. So that's therefore common misconception. So I open if there is any more misconception that I can explain or I can detail it with you all lah. So if the participant yang ada misconception ke, yang rasa susah ke nak belajar, ataupun very afraid to learn, kena ada halangan ke dan sebagainya, adakah tua-tua ni masih lagi belajar Tarannum ataupun adakah dan sebagainya. Jadi kalau ada, I give the floor for you all lah before we end the session.
Tua tu sensitive word, Muaz. So basically, when we are already senior, right? Very senior and mature in our age. So probably, I think most of us are actually looking forward to learn Quran as well as Tarannum. But just would like to share my little bit of experience for the past 1 week, Muaz. I was inspired by your session last week, so I try actually to recite Tarannum, which I've learned from YouTube and some references. I feel like I accidentally, sometimes unintentionally, I recite a little bit not according to the harakah in order to match that Tarannum. I feel like it's quite difficult for me in the beginning. So sometimes, it's true that we need to follow tajweed, but to match that rhythm of melody, sometimes I have a tendency to overshoot the harakah as well as the tajweed. How actually to overcome this? Is it by time? I mean, by practice, or do you have any other tips?
In the Tarannum, there is one aspect we call it burda. Burda is the in Arabic we call getaran suara. That's one yang selalunya that usually will be overshoot in the tajwid part. Because to know to perfect the burda, you have sometimes dia ada lagu yang and then kita mula tu lambat, mula burda tu lambat. That must be we have to practice it perfectly lah. Some of my teachers I attend one session, Tarannum session with Johan antarabangsa, and I learned it one-to-one with him lah. And he said, if you want to perfect your burdah or your lagu ni, burdah is one aspect of Tarannum, because Tarannum tu dia ada aspek burdah pula. Burdah ni dia punya getaran suara. Tarannum is a melody, and burdah is getaran suara yang lagu-lagu kita dengar tu lah. Dia apa? Kalau ada panjang tu, dia kan jadi lagu sikit, dia kan lentok sikit. That's burdah kan. And then if you want to perfect the burdah, you have to know, we call it patah. Kita nak patahkan suara. So how we want to manipulate the burdah perfectly, to learn from the right teacher first, and then the second one, we have to know when is the part yang patah tu. Kita kait patah campak sikit. Kita nak start bunga tu. Because sometimes we apply the burdah tu lambat lately, so dia kan jadi panjang. That's one of the kesalahan ataupun kesalahan dalam orang yang baca Tarannum ni lah. And then the second one, dia dengung that I have touched just now lah, dengung terlalu lama dan sebagainya.
Alright. Yeah, because I feel like
From the floors,
formally, because I feel like formally when I was in school last time, we learn tajweed for in a proper session, but Tarannum wise is little bit macam I would say that is based on opportunity, right? If in a class that you recite more, so you know more about the melody compared to tajweed, everyone can read and can revise, but I think Tarannum is really need practice. Yeah. So any question from the audience or the participants, or anything you would like to share? If you feel that is not challenging for now because we just introduced a bit, but inshallah I feel like the challenging part will coming soon when we're going to practical session in the subsequent session, inshallah. Are you going to be the first tajweed sharer on the practical series later on, Brother Muaz, or it will be another tajweed sharer on the first
I
session?
think for Alif Irfan or Mila, but because we discussed Arman.
When you will melangkah to Dubai?
Dubai first Ramadan.
First Ramadan, so it'll be in March, right? Okay, so right, so I've got more time with you on February. Yeah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
So I think that's all for me.
Yeah.
My take-home message is, I think all of you, you must take this opportunity to learn. Second one, enjoy your session, your one-to-one mentoring session. Grab this golden opportunity. And the third one, improve our recitation with Tarannum, and then forget about your tajweed lah. So inshallah we'll be beginning with Bayati. We have theory session first, how to introduction and how to apply it. What is the famous reciters of the Quran that use Bayati. Inshallah after that we'll be having the practical session. I invite you, all of you, to have this opportunity to learn and to practice it to the speakers. And insyaAllah, kami lebih daripada berlapang dada, diri tepuk tangan kami cadahkan to teach, to share with all of you. InsyaAllah, kita kata apa, kita merasai salah satu one of the aspect of miracle of the Quran. And you know, only with the recitation of Quran, some people cry, some people. So that's very close to me lah, as seorang yang dekat dengan Quran, insyaAllah. That's all for me. Thank you for your session with you, Dr. Shaiful, and for this all the participant, all the audience. I'm sorry if ada kesalahan bahasa dan sebagainya itu, tergurus kata, terkejut. Assalamualaikum.
We learn a lot from you, Brother Muaz. So Alhamdulillah, actually I'm excited and eager to wait for the practical session. I do believe that our participant also felt like that. And I'm happy to see that there's similar faces of our participants since last week, and I hope that there will be a consistent participants throughout the session so that it's more dynamic during the session later on. So with that, we're going to end our session with satu Astabul Kifara. And after that, I would like to request Brother Muaz to read Al-Fatihah according to another Tarannum. Right? Last time is Bayati, so this time will be which Tarannum, Brother Muaz?
الرأس إن شاء الله الرأس.
Inshallah. So we end our session tonight with Salat Astabul Kifara.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت سيدنا المرسلين. Before that, I want to make a disclaimer. Suara saya tak clean sikit. So, sorry lah kalau
Tak apa.
tak mana.
Tak apa. Sedap dia berdengar. Still nice to be heard. Yeah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Salam Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Brother Muaz. Thank you everyone for joining. Assalamualaikum and a very good rest for today. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.